Welcome back to episode number 11 of Yes Pero No podcast. We are so happy that you're here.
And of course, muchas gracias por el apoyo que nos dan.
Gracias.
And of course, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Very important. So we become viral, hopefully, one day.
Maybe one day. Well, just so we can get to more people and they can find out about our podcast. So yeah, even hitting the like button and sharing it with a friend helps. So thank you so much for doing that. So we have a good show for today. What are we going to talk about?
It's going to be a heavy show.
It is going to be a little bit heavy.
Get ready. We're going to be talking about William Levy.
Yes, we're going to talk about William Levy. Un poquito de drama con Mr. William Levy that has happened. Yeah. Que honestamente me sorprendió. It surprised me. I guess that was something that was known about him, but it caught me by surprise, I must say, and we're going to talk about it.
We're going to cover today también the TikTok ban. It's getting a lot of people upset. A lot of people...
I'm upset.
Yeah, a lot of people, unfortunately, viven de TikTok, and that's not something that we're looking for.
No, vamos a hablar de eso. Vamos a hablar de TikTok ban porque honestamente... Esto está de madre. And we're also going to be talking about the fact that minimum wage has been raised. We're going to talk about the state of California and what the governor has done over there, things with the fast food industry. It's crazy. So we're going to talk about that as well. And what else are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about you and me.
Gonna talk about me, gonna talk about I, gonna talk about number one.
No me digas, te vas a poner a cantar en el medio del podcast.
Yeah, Toby Keith. May he rest in peace. I love that song. All right.
Okay, vamos a empezar ya con William Levy. ¿Qué traes hoy de
William Levy?
De
William Levy. For those of you that don't know who William Levy is an actor. He was born in Cuba, so he's Cuban-American.
Vaya.
Very good looking, you know, for the ladies out there, very attractive. So he was like el galán de las telenovelas. You know, he was like the main actor in telenovelas. Like, por favor, no me dejes.
Dame un beso.
Te amo.
Yo también.
Okay. That kind of thing. And
drama.
I really loved William Levy when he went on Dancing with the Stars. He's a good dancer.
Sí, no me digas.
Yes, that was a fun season of Dancing with the Stars. That was back years ago.
Qué bonito.
But listen, some drama has happened and I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Just ugly, and I don't like it at all. So let's take a look at a little video, un videíto que tenemos de lo que pasó. Vamos a ver un TikTok y es del gordo de la flaca que es amiguita de nosotros. Te queremos mucho. Hace tiempo que no nos vemos. Miss Lily Estefan. Vamos a ver qué fue la noticia que dieron en el gordo y la flaca.
Es de lo que todo el mundo está hablando. El video que les mostramos en nuestro show el día que la policía llegó a la casa de William y Elizabeth porque supuestamente el actor estaba con una mujer en la casa. Eso fue el 2 de marzo de este año. Después de ese triste incidente en donde estuvo involucrada la hija de ambos, los hemos visto en varias oportunidades. A pesar de la molestia que sentía la hija con su padre, unas semanas después, el 25 de marzo, él publicó un video en donde le estaba enseñando a manejar a la pequeña. Paparazzis captaron en 2 oportunidades cuando la pareja estuvo en el juego de béisbol de su hijo. En uno, se vio a William y a su hija en un tierno abrazo. Salieron los reportes de policía y hoy, después de todo lo que ha generado el video de la cámara corporal de la policía de la Florida, los actores se han concentrado en publicar videos de su hijo Christopher jugando béisbol.
¿Qué es lo que se vio en el video? Porque yo, al final, yo no pude ver exactamente qué fue lo que pasó.
Okay, basically what happened is that William Levy's ex, Elizabeth Gutierrez, which she's also an actress of telenovelas and all of that, they were once one of South Florida's really the golden couple. Okay, very good looking couple. They fell in love. They got married. They had children. But these days, the two, and they have 2 children together, they appear to be barely on speaking terms. So, el show del gordo y la flaca, they posted this body cam of what we just saw the morning of March 2nd. And when the officers from the Davie Police Department were called to their Southwest Ranches home, Southwest Ranches over there in South Florida is a beautiful area with gorgeous mansions and all of that good stuff. So they used to share that home together. So basically in the footage, Gutierrez, his ex, is seen that is outside. She's in the palm tree lined driveway is what the news says, with their daughter Kaylee. Kaylee is 14 years old. So you can imagine, esa es una edad bien difícil.
Complicada.
Okay? So she's a teenager. She claims that she saw and she heard an unknown woman in her parents' bedroom
Ay, papá.
and accuses her father of pushing her. So me imagino que él estaba en un ñao ñao rucu rucu con alguna mujer en el cuarto. Llegó la niña para recoger algo de la casa y oyó la voz de alguna mujer en el cuarto. Así que you can imagine how uncomfortable that situation is. So Gutierrez, her mom, relays that her daughter entered the home to retrieve something and spotted the individual who attempted to hide. So la mujer se escondió. Imagínate tú.
Y no se sabe quién es la mujer. We don't know who she is.
No, aquí no lo dice. Dice, I was waiting in the car and this is my house, my children's house, and I need her to leave. Es lo que dijo Elizabeth Gutierrez. The cops advised Gutierrez that she should have contacted Levy to settle the matter, but she says they communicate only through their daughter. Y yo entiendo eso. Cuando hay problemas en el matrimonio, no se llevan bien y no se pueden hablar, then what happens is you start communicating just through the children, and that is a dynamic that it's very...
Complicated.
No, not only complicated, dysfunctional.
And dysfunctional.
It's very dysfunctional and it's very complicated, and you put a lot of responsibility on the kids. And unfortunately, a lot of parents resort to doing just that. Dice, I have him blocked because every time he calls me to insult me.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
so the body
typical.
cam cuts to Levy, 43 years old, who's blurred out. The police pat him down and then they enter. And after a search, they tell Gutierrez they found no one except for the house cleaner. ¿Tú crees que sea la mujer que limpia la casa?
Sí, puede ser. It's not the first time I hear that. Mira lo que le pasó a Arnold.
Ay, sí, ni hablar de eso. Bueno, Arnold Schwarzenegger tuvo un hijo con... Era la mujer que limpiaba la casa. Él estaba casado with Maria Shriver, tremenda news woman.
Sí, pero que
Very beautiful.
El amor doesn't have any boundaries.
I don't know so much that was love. It was an affair. I have no idea what the situation or the details. The bottom line is that he got the maid pregnant and he has a son, and that son looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's an adult already. He was actually, what show was he on that I saw?
And super nice guy.
He was on Dancing with the Stars too. Very nice, cae muy bien, but he looks exactly like Arnold.
Pero mira, in a recent interview that they did, I think it was in either Amazon.
It was like a biography thingy,
or
right?
Netflix. I saw.
No. Un documentary.
Documentary.
Yes, documentary is the right word.
He went and explained actually what happened back in the days, how much he regrets it, and his journey in life, as a human. And honestly, when people are able to open up on that level and confess, that they did wrong, that he could have done things in a different way, it deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, I think he realized que eso rompió ese matrimonio. It totally messed things up for his life.
He became the governor of California, and he did great movies. But you know what?
It affected
having
his
the
life.
Fame, having the all that money, all that power, no significó nada.
Wasn't enough.
It was not enough to make him happy.
And then the thing is that
Crazy.
that young boy, he was raised, and Arnold wasn't really in his life all that much until, later on when he is trying to connect with him more and all of that. So that was interesting. As a matter of fact, while he was on Dancing with the Stars, I'm just a big fan of that show. Arnold never went to see him dance. So yeah, it's not a great situation. Pero bueno, en el caso de Levy, supuestamente empujó a la hija cuando trató, yo creo que de abrir la puerta. And now they try to kind of stay involved, tanto Elizabeth Gutierrez como William, en las cosas de los muchachos. Van a ver los juegos de béisbol del hijo y ese tipo de cosas. Pero bueno, la policía estuvo involucrada. Fue un desastre. Supuestamente dicen las malas lenguas que él trató de pagarle a la policía para que no saliera la noticia. He tried to pay the police off so that the news wouldn't come out. But it came out, and everybody knows about it already. And if you didn't know about it, now you do.
That's for sure.
So anyway, yeah.
But anyway, our advice for these people definitely is get a mediator. I know a great one. Hernán Hernández.
See, here he's saying, it's my house. I was alone. Kaylee knocks on the door. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. I don't push her. I put my hand there to prevent it from opening. And you can't come in here. This is my room and my privacy. So he tried to avoid for his 14-year-old daughter to see something that she shouldn't be seeing.
And it was worse.
So I understand that part. The police were there also October 23rd, 2023 and January 29th, regarding verbal domestic disputes. So they have been there already. I guess this is the third time. And another report dated the evening of March 1st, just a day before the highly publicized blowout, reveals that the exes had finally decided to live apart. So the emotions are very raw. Everybody's still upset.
Out of control.
She is dealing with it a certain way, and obviously William is dealing another way with the emotions. They both agree that their daughter would live with Elizabeth and their son would live with William. These agreements were verbal and nothing has been mandated by any court. And the following morning, a patrol car was back out there when Gutierrez accused Levy of having a woman in the home after Kaylee went in to try to collect her things. So I guess there's been cops out there various times y la cosa está fea entre ellos.
The drama continues.
Sigue el drama.
Bueno, moving on to a very important news, which is the ban of TikTok.
Okay, esto me tiene mal.
Not solamente a ti, I mean.
A muchas personas.
I really love that app.
No,
it's been the
app,
only one that I can honestly say I watch it almost every day.
La cosa interesante de TikTok. Al principio, mucha gente estaban en contra de TikTok, especialmente en el mundo latino. A lot of us Latinos or Hispanics were like, TikTok, ¿qué es eso? Y que si los chinos, y que si los comunistas, y todo este lío, right? But then we started seeing TikTok. TikTok is a place where the world has a platform to be able to record things that are going on that you normally would probably not even see in the news. Obviously, las noticias, en mi opinión, ponen lo que quieren que tú veas. So the news will show you what they want you to see or what they want you to believe. But on TikTok, when you record something that's going on in your town, en tu pueblo, puede ser donde sea, in downtown, you can just upload that video y las personas pueden ver lo que está pasando de verdad, la voz del pueblo. And that is why I think that people have just fallen in love with it because
I'm a firm believer
it's a truth place.
That you have to have some kind of control when it comes on to anything that is exposed to on TV, on the radio, on these new platforms that we use on for social media, where we don't cause harm. As long as you are giving out your opinion, you're giving out your point of view, it's fine and dandy. But when these platforms are not supervised, like when you watch a movie or whatever, and our kids are exposed to it and they don't have any kind of filter, we're going to run, with problems in our society.
It does have
it's gone
filters.
To a point donde todo, tú sabes, está como un poquito fuera de control.
Yes, no, but they
one
do
thing
have
is
filters.
but one thing is that, and another thing is trying to ban
the
something.
Entire thing.
Yeah, like this. Ahora they're forcing TikTok to sell the app, to the Americans, basically. To give el algorithm, darlo todo.
Bueno, vamos a ver unos videitos que explican un poquito más de lo que está pasando. So let's see some videos that explain a bit of what is going on with the TikTok ban.
What a pivotal 24 hours we're about to enter for the future of TikTok. The Senate could be poised to pass a bill requiring TikTok to be sold or divested from its China-based owner or be banned in the United States within a year. Banned. The bill, when it passes the Senate, it's already passed by the House. The president's indicated he'd sign it, would become law. But, yes, TikTok could be sold and owned by a different company, based in a different place, and continue on just as it has for years now. And TikTok could litigate this, go to court, try to stop this law, try to stop this requirement that it be sold. TikTok has said that this is just not tenable. It's such a lucrative, valuable company. You can't just go find a new owner in a new place within months' time. And TikTok has mobilized its users trying to, at the 11th hour, stop Congress from doing what it seems very much certain to do. Users were flooding the phones of Capitol Hill, and at times, that didn't go over very well with members of Congress who weren't very keen on TikTok having so much ability to galvanize and mobilize its users if it also has potential tethers to China. The Senate will vote as early as tomorrow, potentially Wednesday, on a bill that includes all this TikTok language. What happens next is the starting of a clock that TikTok could stop.
It's very complicated because one of the main things is the app is collecting, personal information and is learning a lot of the behavior of the users. But
Ferrero, every app collects personal information.
Right.
Listen, if they want to find you, they know where you are, they know where you live. You know, we have cameras on our laptops. This is recording us constantly. If you have Alexas as well. Even if you don't have Alexas, as long as you have something like this.
A lot of people are complaining because they say that the government wants to, find a way to control all the media. Like you mentioned right from the beginning, I seen stuff in TikTok that I don't see anywhere.
And not only that.
And I don't understand that part. I mean, I don't know why media in general they're supposed to, transmit the news the way it's supposed to be. And now every show, now every show has become a show of an opinion. Before you used to have a newscaster and said the president said this or the government said that, but it's not that anymore. Now it's like everybody's giving an opinion about what happened. And then you only hear in TikTok what really happened. And then makes people think like, do we have an agenda behind all of this?
They do. And not only
What's
that,
going on?
You hear like one channel and then they're saying this. And then you go to the next channel and they're saying pretty much the same words. Yeah. It's usually that way. So you get more or less
it's complicated.
The same information fed to you. And TikTok has come out and we are able to see what is really happening in other countries, in our own towns, about certain topics that we're very passionate about. And here's another thing that, another video that shows another part of this.
This is the real reason they want to ban TikTok. It's not about China spying on people or collecting data. Every social media app does that. This is about full control of your online activity. You need to look up Bill S-686, aka the Restrict Bill. This is the actual legislation that they're using to legalize this ban. Now, when you actually look into this bill, you'll see that they want to ban and restrict a lot more than just TikTok. This bill gives the government the authority to ban or monitor any software or hardware that they deem is coming from a foreign adversary. This includes any mobile apps, desktop apps, banking and payment applications, iMessage, or any other messaging app, home security systems, video game systems, streaming apps, or anything connected to the internet. Basically, anything that has internet access can now be legally monitored and audited by the government. Further, it gives the government the right to audit any app or website with more than 1 million users. It will also potentially make the use of VPNs illegal and basically allow the government to get any information about you or go through your personal data without a warrant. See, they always got a trick bag for you. TikTok is just the scapegoat for the real play they're trying to run. See, it's all about controlling the dissemination of information.
I heard the other day, if you have a vacuum, even like a Roomba, how many of you guys have a Roomba? I have one. And it comes with an app. As long as it can connect to an internet, you can be hacked. You can be looked at through that. It could be a vacuum cleaner.
You think they're going to be able to see you through a Roomba?
They can see you through anything.
No, Roomba doesn't have a camera, Cristina.
Ferrero. If you look, I just saw a video that talks about the
Cristina,
tinacle. Wait. I have a tinacle.
Cristina,
the tinacle.
The Roomba doesn't have a camera.
Finish a second?
Pero es que no tiene una cámara. ¿Cómo te van a ver si no tiene una cámara?
Because they can connect to the system that is in the house through there. Don't you be pointing at me with that little fat finger.
That means that they use the Roomba or Roomba, whatever.
That's what I'm talking about.
As a bridge.
As a bridge. So listen, I have a tinacle.
No me tratas de engañar con mentiras.
I have a tinacle, as I said 500 times already.
Okay.
It mops and it vacuums at the same time. Mm-hmm. It is the best thing that a human being has invented in their entire life because it cuts the amount of work and the mopping. I used to mop with like a Cuban mop. A Cuban mop is like a T, and then you used to put like a towel or any type of cloth at the end, and then you would have to do this action. And then by the time you're done, you're dying, okay?
And you're spreading the germs from one side to another.
No, it's just terrible. And so I don't use that anymore, and I use the tinacle. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you have to vacuum more, whatever, because we have pets and you have to constantly be cleaning up, the dog hair and all of that. But my tinacle is like the basic tinacle. But there are tinacles that actually have the app and the whole thing. So,
Chica, how many times are you going to say tinacle?
Tinacle, 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 tinacle.
Continue.
That's because you interrupt me so many times that I have to start on my thought again because I forget what the hell I'm
trying
saying.
to have a conversation
No,
with
a
you.
conversation is not interrupting. A conversation is you listen to the person talking, let them finish, and then you talk. This is like ADD.
You're forcing
ADD.
me to say whatever.
I don't even know what the hell I was saying. Okay, I wanted to put another short video here from a TikTok creator. Her name, I don't know her name, but I know it's called Under the Desk News. And she's very thorough about news. So let's take a listen because it talks about everything that this ban or this bill that they're trying to pass, what is included in this bill. It's not only the TikTok ban.
Well, that's done. Congress passed 4 out of the 5 bills that they voted on today. The border security package failed. It didn't even have a chance. Aid to the Indo-Pacific, that $9 billion to help fortify Taiwan, passed. Aid to Ukraine passed. Aid to Israel, which also has some humanitarian aid built into it, passed. And that 4th bill that houses the forced divestment of TikTok and sanctions for Iran, China, and Russia also passed. 58 congresspeople voted no on the TikTok ban. Most of them were Republicans. And then there's 13 people who didn't vote at all, including TikTok's own Jeff Jackson, who did not vote on the border bill, money for Taiwan, or the TikTok ban. He voted yes on aid for Ukraine and aid for Israel, which means he was in the room. He could have voted. He just chose to abstain from voting on the TikTok ban. So while the House had the opportunity to vote on these 5 different bills individually, the ones that passed are getting sent to the Senate as a package. They will be debated on Monday, and it will be voted on Tuesday. President Biden still saying that he supports all of the aid and the divestment/sanctions bill.
The way that I see this is that, we are dealing with politicians, Republicanos and Democrats. And now they are trying to find a way to get into an agreement. So how do you get into an agreement? I give you a part of what you want, and you give me a part of what I want. As you can clearly see here, it is more important to send money to Ukraine than to deal with the problem that we have in the border, the security. The border security. So I don't understand that. I think that the logical way of thinking is that you take care of your home, right? You take care of your people first, and then it's okay. We can help the rest of the world. We always have, but we need to take care of ourselves. Right now, we're going, through a lot of difficulties in this country, and I don't see why TikTok, just became so important that we need to create a bill compiled together with Ukraine and Israel and all these things that una cosa no tiene nada que ver con la otra. You know what I mean? Like, if it was all individual, I understand it. I support helping other countries.
But they usually don't do it like that. They kind of put it all together like a big burrito. So it's like you don't notice certain things, and you're just noticing the TikTok thing, and it's all about that. But they're passing other things that don't make sense.
I don't get it. We're talking about, I just researched it, 95 billion, not millions.
Wow.
$95 billion aid package to Ukraine. Meanwhile, you and I paying $5 a gallon of gas. And we cannot even afford to go to the grocery store. And let's talk about crime. Recently, Elon Musk just said that it is time to make crime illegal again in America. Imagine this phrase. O sea, ¿a qué punto estamos nosotros that we are allowing some of these behaviors all across America and think that it's okay?
Like the people that walk into whatever, a Target or a Best Buy or whatever the case may be, with a big bag, and they just start sticking things in there and nobody can do anything about it. One of the other things, about TikTok that people do love, not only about finding out what's really happening in the world, but the way that we have been able to connect with other people that are going through the things that we are going through. For example, there is like a whole side of TikTok that talks about grief, like losing your spouse, and people are connecting and they are supporting each other through that. Other people that have lost like children, or things like people with disability, women going through perimenopause or menopause, which is where I am at in my part of life. I know, I look so young and all of that, but this stuff affects us. And where I have found out about most symptoms, which is like 100 symptoms. It doesn't have that many, but it does, on TikTok. That's where I found out that it's not that I'm going crazy, but I'm going through a change. And I've been able to share it with my husband or my kids so that they understand me. And like that, there's so many other topics, even like how to clean your house. There's a whole side of TikTok it's called Clean TikTok or Cleaning TikTok. I love it.
There's so many hacks and many
it's
different
super
ways.
Interesting. And then on the other hand, one thing that my husband had mentioned to me is people that are doing or being able to share their small business on TikTok. I am one of them. We own La Luna Glow Candles, and I have my website, lalunaglowcandles.com. Let me go ahead and just plug that a little bit.
I just wish they made it a little bit simpler. Sometimes it's
TikTok shop can be
it could be
a little
extremely complicated. I seen you get aggravated.
I have gotten aggravated even
to set up things and
set it up and not
really
knowing how it worked and all of that.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Right now, they went up to I think 6% that they're charging for each sale. I don't even know if it's worth selling on TikTok all that much, although you get a whole other side of people as customers and stuff. But myself as a small business owner, I'm concerned. Estoy preocupada porque digo, if they're going to ban TikTok, is it even worth putting my products that I hand make in there? I hand pour these things and I sell it through the app on TikTok shop. Am I going to get that money? Is one of the first things that I thought. If it's going to be
a year, remember, it's not going to be like ahorita mismo they're just going to shut it down.
And supposedly,
we don't even know in the event that goes through and it gets approved, if another American company takes over.
Well, I wanted to talk about
and
that.
life goes on. I mean,
one of the gentlemen that I saw, I don't really like this guy too much. He's called Mr. Wonderful. He's one of the sharks from Shark Tank, the bald one. But I believe that I saw that he was interested in buying TikTok. Let me see if I'm wrong. Hold on.
Why do you want to buy TikTok?
170 million users. It's one of the largest networks on earth. It's used widely by entrepreneurs in America. I support small business everywhere. That's on a bipartisan basis. And so there's so many examples of companies that tell their story on that platform. And they, in fact, create all the value because they spend about $9 billion a year promoting their products and services. It's young entrepreneurs in their 20s, 30s, and 40s trying to launch companies. And that's what I'm all about. So to me, it's a great fit.
Now, some lawmakers are concerned about the app spreading misinformation, harmful information, propaganda. How would you protect against that if you were to buy this company?
So think of it in two stacks. One is the 170 million users and the brand name TikTok. So that's valuable, but not that valuable if you don't get the algorithms which give you the preferences and history of those users. And so what's being proposed, at least it's being speculated, is that the algorithm is not for sale by Dance Byte. That's a Chinese-controlled company. And the truth is everybody knows that this leaks data to the Chinese. This is a burner phone I have. That has TikTok on it. My real phone, I would never put TikTok on. And that's why we banned it in the government. Everybody knows this. In India, they had 200 million users on it, and they banned it because of this idea of cognitive warfare. I'm in agreement that we should not have a foreign adversary controlling the back door of the data. But at the same time, this is not unprecedented. Grindr was a service that when it was discovered the Chinese had their hooks into it, it was a forced sale. Same thing could happen here. And I must reiterate, this is a Shark Tank company. I want to point it out, WAD-free. It wouldn't exist without TikTok. And so there are hundreds of thousands of companies like this that I think are very important. So my whole role here is to take it from TikTok China to TikTok USA.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what the future could be, and that would be great. But he mentioned a very important point, which is the algorithm. If you don't have the algorithm, the information, the data from the users, then no vale nada. And based on that, psychologically, they target individuals in many different ways. Coming in that strong and say, we're going to ban it, period. If you don't sell it to the Americans, then it's complicado because you already have a lot of millions of users, American users, that they're going to be financially affected by the cancellation.
I know people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars, not necessarily just a small business like me, but in being what they call, they endorse these products and they sell it. Like, for example, somebody will want to sell my candles to their followers and they make a percentage of my sale. And people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars because they have a big public. They have a lot of followers, like, thousands of followers or 1 million followers. And if they say, hey, I like this phone or I like this pen, people will buy it. and they make a percentage of that sale. It's a big business.
I don't know why, Instagram did not develop like an additional, I will say, tab within the app that they already have that behaves similar to TikTok. Because
like what?
Like you can tap on to say if you want to simulate the behavior of TikTok, that you just can scroll up and continue seeing videos the same way that you do in TikTok.
You can in the reels, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. And honestly, Instagram, it's so annoying in the sense of, like, for example, today I was getting ready and I went on my Instagram of La Luna Glow Candles and I was just putting on my makeup just to connect with people. Sometimes I'll do that and tell them what makeup I'm wearing and what eyeshadow and what lipstick and whatever. And so there, I was listening to some 70s music in the background because I was in a Donna Summer type of mood. And what did they do? A few minutes passed by and they'll knock me off. Why? Because I have music in the background.
Well,
TikTok doesn't do that.
Yeah, but
TikTok
on that sense,
will allow
Cristina,
you to put whatever.
I understand that they're protecting the rights of musicians. I mean, I don't have...
But I am paying for Spotify.
But it doesn't matter.
And I want to listen to my music while I'm doing whatever. So then I have to pay again, and they have to get...
Yeah, but they don't know if you're using that music to commercially promote a makeup line that you're doing.
Okay, so what is TikTok doing with the music situation?
They probably paying some kind of rights in a bulk. They buy the rights from Universal Music. They from Sony.
So what is happening?
And gives
well,
you the
not
right
TikTok,
to distribute
because
it.
remember, Universal Music, they banned like all of the Universal.
Well, I'm saying is that's maybe
whatever,
that's
but
what they're doing.
they probably pay a bulk amount.
Yeah, because
then
they're not gonna be doing
Instagram
anything
and
legal with
Mr.
that.
Mark, whatever his name is, that also owns Facebook, that owns Instagram, get with it, because what's happening? A lot of people don't do lives on Instagram anymore because of that, and they go to TikTok to sell. I have my shop on Instagram as well, so I can even tag a product on one of my posts on Instagram, right? I could tag a candle or whatever, but I put my website. I don't make it sales through Instagram. I don't want sales through Instagram. I'll put my website, just go directly to my website. So they've lost a lot of those opportunities, and they've banned so many different things. Like Instagram, they were saying it's just going down, just like Facebook.
And I don't understand why when you like post a video on Instagram, instead of being able to have some part within that video that you can just put the link on.
Only on stories. Only on stories.
Yeah, but you always have to put it, see my description or my bio.
They don't allow you to do it in the post, but TikTok doesn't either.
It makes it very complicated, too.
Yeah, there's no hyperlinks on the TikTok.
They should be able to do that.
Yeah, so it's a big thing. I mean, at least even for us, at night, what do I enjoy doing? Watching these videos, and they make me laugh. Sometimes Joe is snoring next to me. He's doing so much better, you guys. He's doing amazing. What I love,
for example...
And we're laughing. I'm laughing
What I love
jokes.
about YouTube is that I'm able to search any kind of topic. Like I like to, learn about electronics or physics or
how
quantum
to do something
formulas
in the car.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you'll be able to see what other people have shared. Or you have an entire course. On TikTok, it's more of like you look for this, you look for that, remedies, home remedies.
Yes.
But more of like a structured kind of learning environment. I love YouTube because of that. So now, as users, I think that we should send them suggestions on how to improve their app. And other people are saying that YouTube and Instagram and Facebook are wanting to wipe out TikTok because they don't want competition.
Well, TikTok, with what they did with TikTok Shop, it is my understanding that the situation was that they were competing with Amazon. And a lot of people did their shopping on TikTok Shop for Christmas and for Black Friday. My sales for Christmas with the candles were crazy, to the point that I had to take a couple months just to kind of get myself together, and my regular customers would order, but I didn't want to sell anymore on TikTok Shop because it was a lot.
I love Amazon. I think that Amazon is an incredible platform, a great idea. Once in a while, I use eBay. I don't know that many people that actually...
I never use eBay.
Go to eBay, but when I'm looking for specific...
Like a little part
yeah,
for
like electronics parts or stuff like that it's really, it's not like a common thing that people will actually, I guess, look for or search in Amazon. I go to eBay and I find that. But one of the famous platform that people used to use was Craigslist.
Craigslist is still used.
But because of the scams and all
No,
those things?
it got a little crazy because there were people on there like trying to scam or to trying to, like, if you went to buy something off of Craigslist and then they wanted to like abduct you or like steal from you. But that's happening with Facebook Marketplace too.
Yeah, that's a few days ago. A friend of mine that works directly with me told me that his partner got scammed
Really?
on
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
Really? How was
Yeah.
that? What happened?
I don't want to go into the details, but it was a lot of money.
Oh no.
And recently, I was looking for a side-by-side 4x4 los carritos, eso, for the farm. And I contacted some people, through Facebook, and I mean, I picked up on it right away. I mean, the emails were kind of strange. No sé, era algo que I detected, and it was way too good to be true. So, guys, be careful out
Yes.
there buying anything.
Well, yeah.
En Facebook marketing, porque está la cosa
Not only
mala.
that, but also
Really
the whole
bad.
thing with AI. That whole thing that, I have seen like videos where you get a call. And on that call, you hear like your child, your son or your daughter calling you, say, Mom, I just got into a wreck. This just happened. And the guy says that if I give him $500, they won't
Let
call
me
the
go.
police or whatever.
Right.
Please just Venmo me the money. Da, da, da. And it's your son or daughter's voice.
Yeah.
Okay? What I suggest you do, okay, honey, hold on one second. Let me call you right back. And call your son or your daughter.
Not only that, another
To
suggestions.
confirm that it wasn't you that called me or not,
Yeah.
because they can use your son or your daughter's voice.
So within the family, you create a keyword, a passcode. So that way, when they talk to you on the phone with any kind of problems or whatever, even though you may hear the voice of the person that you think that it's real, you ask them what is the password or what is the passcode or whatever. And if they don't say it, they'll say, "Oh, I'm too nervous, I cannot remember it." Then you know what it means. Que eso es un scam. And a lot of professionals in the field are recommending for people to create a passcode to avoid that kind of problem.
That's a good idea.
Okay, now moving into the next thing. It's about a change that was done by Gavin Newsom, which happened to be raising the minimum wage. Originally, he wanted to raise it all the way up to $22 an hour for workers in the fast food restaurants. End up being $20 an hour now, beginning April 1st. It's called AB 1228, and anybody that works on a fast food restaurant in California will get paid $20 an hour. And that is based on, unfortunately, the high cost of living in that state. And my question is, isn't it easier to find a way to fix the economy so people can have a better way of living instead of like raising the minimum wage to $20 an hour, devaluate the dollar, the value of the dollar, and at the end of the day, that is not going to take care of the problem.
Well, it's not only that, but I mean, you're going into any, fast food restaurant, any drive-through, and you're not going to pay less than $15, $16 for a meal.
Right. But on top of that.
On top of everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the problem is that is creating an increase of fast food, not only in the state of California, but all across the United States. I mean, all the prices are going up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, by making this decision, let's say you're helping, it's a small amount of people that actually work on this fast food
Well, it says
chain.
it's impacting restaurants that have at least 60 locations nationwide. So it's going to impact the restaurants that are the big chains, the McDonald's, the Burger King, the whatever.
I'm already seeing the hype. Están tocando duro.
Wow. $20 an hour.
And on top of that, after COVID hit, we've been getting a lot of high turnaround employees in these restaurants. I go to the one over here, y toda la semana they have a new employee.
They have new employees. It's a high turnover. They don't last. So I don't know what they're doing. They may be paying them a little bit more an hour, but they're not able to retain these employees. And that's tough, because then the service that goes to customers going there, every week is affected. And then eventually that's going to affect everything for that business.
Honestly, I don't even know how much is the gas in California now, but it's just common sense. If you reduce the cost of gas, and it's going to reduce the cost of transportation, and that's not going to trickle down to the food chain.
$5.42 a gallon. That's the current average.
So all of that trickles down to the food chain. The truckers have to, charge more. They have to spend more, and then all that, ends up, with the groceries that we pay.
That's affected everything. I mean, even for my small business, everything is more expensive because the shipments of the fragrance oils, of the wax, of the wicks, of the labels, everything that is used, the packaging, everything goes up. So I cannot no longer sell a candle how much I used to, sell it for 4 years ago when I started. And I hate that because I wanted to give the very best price. But if I continue how I sold things 4 years ago, I won't make any money, and it's not worth having a small business. That's the problem.
And it's affecting everybody in general, especially the companies that they have employees that they work in this, wholesale stores.
Yes.
And they cannot retain the employees. They're understaffed, and then they have to work harder. And unfortunately, they have to raise the prices. So everything trickles down.
Yeah.
So by raising the minimum wage on employees, being the governor of that state is not the solution.
What would you think the solution is?
Well, like I said, you need to find a way to lower the, gas prices. I mean, the whole idea of protecting the planet and coming out with electric cars and all of the above, it's fine and dandy. I mean, I think it's great. I think, but mining lithium and mining all these elements that we need to be able to build a battery, I think it's destroying more the planet than what we're doing with using gas. So we need a transition period to be able to do this. And I don't think we are ready. In some way, somehow, we've been forced to say, we have to buy an electric car because we have to protect the environment. Yes, I agree with that. But also the electric cars are unaffordable. I mean, I went to see a brand new truck like a month ago, and it was like $78,000 for a truck. I mean, that used to be the price of an apartment.
Yeah, but what happens when there is a natural disaster like a tornado or there's a hurricane or whatever the case may be, and you only have an electrical car and you cannot charge your car, you can't get anywhere to go see your family to make sure that they're okay. This doesn't make any sense. And it's happened where they have had to leave their cars in the middle of a highway because they're not running. It doesn't make sense. So Disney recently came up with harsher and stricter rules on their disability program, meaning, we could go to Disney World and just say, listen, I have a disability. I have high levels of anxiety. I cannot stand in line, whatever it is. And you would get a card that you were disabled and so that you can pass to the front of the line and that kind of thing. And now it looks like they are requiring more and they are coming down hard on people because what happens is that people take advantage.
Right.
That's what happens. Let me look at the details here. So the changes are going to take effect on May 20th at Walt Disney World and June 18th at Disneyland. And according to Disney's website, this is going to pass and it's now going to be reserved for guests who, due to a developmental disability, like autism or similar conditions, are unable to wait in a conventional queue for an extended period of time.
Right.
That's definitely something that's difficult, especially when you have a child with a disability. It's very difficult for them to wait in line and that kind of thing. That's something that we've benefited from in the past, and it's really helped because it's very difficult for them to wait in a line for a whole hour without having a meltdown.
Sí, but imagine the amount of people that they have cheated that they brought that up. And they have to make changes. O sea, what percentage of people have been saying that they have a disability and they really don't? It's a shame que la gente haga eso,
They do, but they abuse it. And they've also reduced the number of people who can accompany a guest using this disability pass to skip the line. The parties must be made up of immediate family members only and a maximum of 4 individuals.
Where does that fall for HIPAA law? I mean, are you supposed to disclose your medical information with non-medical personnel in Disney?
The HIPAA law is that particular hospital or the doctor cannot share unless you approve, to share your medical information. But if it's your own information that you need to share because you want to benefit, then either you say it or you don't get the benefit. So it's not.
So I guess they have to.
It's not really HIPAA. It's not a third party talking about your situation. It's your own. situation.
Pero bueno, if it's going to be benefiting the guests and also benefiting the people that are actually needed, ¿por qué no? Too bad for those of you que han estado engañando a Disney.
For a really long time.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of our people in South Florida. That we know.
Bueno, y hasta aquí llegamos.
Hasta aquí hemos llegado. Thank you so much for being with us this podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. That helps us out so much.
And share it. Very important.
Yeah, go ahead and share with a friend. We'll see you guys again next time and have a great rest of your week. We love you guys.
Pero no.